Do you know why Delta Lake exists in Databricks? Don't worry, I will tell you in this video. Imagine you're working as a data analyst in a big e-commerce company. Every second, orders are coming, customer update their profiles, and payments are happening. And your company stores the data as a CSV or Puppet files. One day, a junior engineer accidentally overwrites a data files. Boom! Your sales data of 2 hours was gone. Finance team panics. CEO asks, how did we lose our production data? Then you realize your data lakes can't support transactions, no rollbacks, and no protection from corrupted. That's where Delta Lake becomes the hero. Think of Delta Lake as a database brain of top of the data lake, and it adds safety plus intelligence. In real companies, data is constantly changing. So without Delta Lake, data can be corrupted or overwritten. So with the Delta Lake, companies can track each and every change in the data. That's why companies love to use Delta Lake instead of Puppet files. First, let me just tell you the difference between Puppet files and Delta Lake. The Puppet file is good for faster storage, but there is a drawback. Puppet files, there is no any transactions, and there is no any rollback, and there is no any version control. If we will talk about Delta Lake is it's a layer on top of the Puppet files. So Delta Lake has the accessibility of asset transaction, and it can has the rollback the data, and Delta Lake can prevent the data from the corrupted. That's why real companies use Delta Lake instead of Puppet files. So the question is, what is a Delta Lake? A Delta Lake is a smart storage of the data with added features. The features are database features like asset transactions, rollback feature, and prevents from the duplicate records and prevents from the corrupted. So now let's just do the practical way where we exactly use the Delta Lakes in our Databricks. As you can see on your screen, now I am in my home screen of the Databricks. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the notebook. So you can just click on the workspace. If you want to create the new notebook, you can just click on here, or you can create a new notebook or file or query or dashboard, anything. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create the new notebook here. So as you can see on your screen, my new notebook has created successfully. I'm going to update the name of the notebook. It's a day 4 of Delta Lake. So here what I'm going to do, first I'm going to load the files, whichever the files that I have stored in the Databricks. So the path was where I have stored the data. CSV files are here, the Rocky, and the default option here, volume, and the OList project. So as you can see here, these are the tables that I have. So what I can do, I will just show you one table, how we can load the data, then we can convert the data into the delta format, then we can create the delta table. So all these things I'm going to tell you by using one table. So first what I'm going to do, I'm going to read the file whichever stored in my OList project folder. So how can I do that? I will take the help of the AI here. Just click on here and read the table of which is stored in. So as you can see here, so I have successfully generated the code, and just click on run. So it will give you the data. You have successfully read the data from your folder. So now you can see we have successfully read the data into PySpark data frame, orders data, as you can see. So what we are going to do in the next step, we are going to save this data into the Delta Lake. So how we are going to do, we will take the help of AI. Just click on here. So just write convert this table into Delta Lake and just click on generate, and you will see it will by default give you the code. We are going to write this orders table into our Delta Lake, and just click on accept and just click on run here, and you can see our data was successfully stored in the Delta Lake. So the next step, what we are going to do, I am storing this data to creating a delta table. How we can do that with the help of AI? I am going to take the help of AI, then just write here convert this data into create a delta table in SQL, because we can able to create the data tables in PySpark as well as SQL. So two are most important how we can create the delta tables in both the ways. So now what we are going to do, we are going to create this delta table in SQL. How we can do that? We can just take the help of AI. Here, just click on here and just create a delta table in SQL. Just click on generate. So it will give you the code to help you to run the code so that you can easily able to create the delta table. As you can see here, this was already give you the create the table delta table in SQL. So we have successfully created. If you can just run the suggested one before accepting the code, so it will give you delta table has successfully created. If you want to test whether the delta table has created or not, just you can just click on here and just use SQL code. Select star from Rocky. So as you can see, the suggestion was given in this table. So you can just simply take this and just click on run. And you can see if this test was successfully run. So you can see here, so this code was successfully run and it gives you the, so we can think like that we have successfully created the delta table in SQL and in PySpark. This is the code of the PySpark. And if you want to know about the SQL, so this part, whatever the code that I have selected, so that code is the example of creating delta table in SQL. This is how we can create the delta tables in SQL as well as PySpark. And now what we can do, we will just try to import the wrong data into our database. So let's just try that. For that, I don't need to write the code manually. I will just take the help of AI. Just click on here and just write here. Now we are going to apply our schema enforcement in our delta table so that we can see whether our schema enforcement will be work in delta tables or not. So let's get started. What we can do, we will simply import the data, wrong type of the data type into our data, whether the data was inserted into the data or it will completely give you an error. Let's just see. So what we can do, we can simply write insert into and the table name, and the table name was rocky dot default dot delta dot orders dot sql. Just select this and just enter here values. So what we are going to do, we are going to enter the numbers, 1 2 3 4 in the order id, and then same number and any type of data that you can give, or like rocky, and we can easily see whether this data is inserted into our database or not, so that we can identify, we can test that. So this delta tables will be helpful for us to protect from the bad data. So this is the data. I am simply going to be execute this data. So this is how we can use delta lake in our Databricks. So in short, if I will tell you what we have learned in this video, we have learned about delta lake, why exist in the Databricks the delta lake, and we have learned about perquit files as well as delta files difference, and we have learned about how we can use delta lake in the Databricks. First, what we have do, we have created the delta tables in SQL as well as PySpark. Then we have tested the schema enforcement to test whether our wrong data type is, if you want to try to import it, insert it into the data, then it has thrown an error. And one more thing last, we have learned about the handling the duplicate values. We have handled the duplicate values by drop the duplicates. So that's all about this video, guys. I hope you learn something about delta lake, what is delta lake and why we use delta lake in Databricks. In the next video, we are going to talk about advanced level delta lake concepts in the day 5. Till then, keep learning and keep coding. Thank you so much.